Hostilities will end officially at 1 minute after midnight tonight, Tuesday, the 8th of May. Today is Victory in Europe Day.
Meanwhile, of course, Londoners had begun their non-stop two-day celebration. The end of the German war had come 11 months after the landings in Normandy. V-Day came less than a year after D-Day.
Outside the gates of Buckingham Palace, the people gather in their thousands.
Was it in the West End. All over the capital, as indeed in towns and cities throughout the country, it was the same story.
London made a night of it. Piccadilly Circus was the centre of it all.
Oh, hello everybody. Manchester calling. This is our Victory in Europe inspired Your Manchester. And I'm here channeling the 1945s with my pearls on. And here is, Tinkerbell.
AKA Hayley Cartwright. Hiya.
Hello.
All right. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. What have you been doing this week?
That's the same question. Well, what I've been doing, I've been mainly dealing with the puppy, of course, toilet training her. She knows
Poppy the
puppy. She knows sit. She'll wait for me to walk away like 10 steps and then she'll run to me because she gets excited. And she'll also knows, come Poppy, come. So she's doing quite well. I've only had her 2 weeks, so I think she's doing really, really well.
I'll have to give you my Morris dancing bells.
Yes.
I've taught my dog to ring the bell to go out when he wants potty.
I've heard that before.
But now he's 4 and now he does it with a bit of an attitude.
Well, I saw his picture. He was tarting in front of the fridge.
Yeah.
He
was tarting in front of the fridge.
Yeah, it was after food, clearly.
After food. So, like we say, this is our Victory in Europe inspired show. Sunday, the 8th of May, was Victory in Europe. It's 77 years that party that you saw on the VT happened. Some sore heads the following day. And in the studio, we've got somebody who has been probably celebrating since last week. And that is, wait a minute. Let me start. Councillor, Professor Arin Bell, MBE, JP, and DL. No, wrong way around. DL and JP. I knew I'd get it wrong. Hello.
And you still missed one out anyway.
I missed one out, haven't I? Welcome to the show. Do you know, she's a friend of Your Manchester. Welcome.
I am. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me again.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
Really,
you.
really pleased for you. What's I wanted to ask you, actually, so now you are councillor, what is the first thing you think you'd like to tackle?
The first thing I would like to tackle, I think it's more about encouraging our youth and or at least letting them know that there are a lot of opportunities in Manchester for our young people and letting the youth know that. But what I would really like to tackle is the adults to be able to open not just windows of opportunities for our young people, but open doors of opportunity and also stop criminalizing young people.
That is really good. So have you got some people, like, I mean, I don't want to give any secrets away, but have you got any contacts of organisations that you're going to be working with on that?
Yes. And anyway, I can talk about one of the things that I helped to launch was the Operation Black Vote.
Yes.
You know, to encourage more young people, more young Black people or, you know, people of colour to actually get involved in local politics, because that's where it all starts. People usually say, oh, I don't want to get involved in politics, not interested in politics. But you know what? I usually say even the colour of your bins is politics.
Yeah.
When you put them out, when you don't put them out, you know, and I heard you having to talk about even dogs, dog walking. But if you pick up your dog, is blue or not?
Oh, I do,
obviously. I hate it when I see people not picking it up.
Biodegradable bags.
I always say, though, people do say, oh, I don't do politics, like you say, but I always say, but politics does you.
Yeah, so I mean, everything is politics, really.
Everything's politics. What did we just watch? We just watched the VT from 1945. Politics started
That's
that
right.
war.
And usually it's politics, but probably with a small p.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm interested in, local politics. I'm not interested in the, you know, the big boys down London, but then there is. But, you know, local politics.
There are some amazing councillors out there doing some fantastic things for the community. And I know, because I know you quite well, I think, now, that you're going to be doing some brilliant things. And you tell everybody what your ward is, what your area.
My ward, I am the councillor for the Moss Side ward. You know, Moss Side ward, South Manchester, that's my ward. And I even won the vote, because even Andy Burnham was saying it last night. I had a majority vote of, I don't know how you call it, basically landslide. 2,000, I think, and 300 and something more than the person.
That was more
than the next person. It was really overwhelming, to tell the truth.
That is
very, very overwhelming to think that 2,000 and odd people at least want me to represent them locally.
And they took the time out to go and vote.
To go and
for
vote.
you.
Yeah, to go and put that mark next to my name.
I mean, I live in the borough of Stockport, and we didn't even get 40% of people out to vote.
Yeah.
Not even 40%, and that is awful. And I just want to say to people that, you know, people have fought and died to actually for people to actually get the vote.
That's what she did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's one thing that people should take it seriously and put their voices
out
there.
90, my gran made me wheel her down in her wheelchair to our local polling station.
At 90.
At 90, she was like, my vote, I'm going to cast it.
Yeah, because it's really important. And people think it isn't, but it is. Because, you see, when you've got a problem, who do you call? You know, not Ghostbusters. Who do you call?
That's what came in my head.
Got in there before you. But you know, usually either they ring their counsellor first, or you're going to ring the police if you've got a problem, or you're going to ring a doctor if you've got a problem. All those things, it's all local politics. You know, we all work together. Yeah, it's they're all combined. They're all networked together. So you should be able to vote. And actually, your vote is stating things like, I want this to happen in my neighbourhood, or I don't want this to happen, or I want this to change. And one of my mantras is, if you want to see change, you've got to be part of it. There's no point standing on the outside, chucking the stones in. You've got to be right in it.
Well, you know what? In the future, let's plan something so that I come out with you, VT. I come out with you into the community. You know, because I'd love that, and it'd be great to sort of talk to the constituents and see what's going on in the community.
Not a problem. We go out regularly. We go out regularly, not just when we want a vote. We go out anyway, because I've been doing that with the other councillors. Yeah, you know, like you, I just wanted to be part of that. Yeah, knocking on the doors, speaking to people, understanding what people's needs are, what are wants or not wants, and not needs.
It's about being visible, isn't it? Basically, it's about being the people's councillor. My dad was a councillor for 20 odd years in Preston, and he was the people's councillor and then the people's mayor. So maybe that's the way that you could go as well.
Before we wrap this up,
shouldn't you just become a councillor? And I'm telling her to go.
Have we got a picture that we can put on the screen? There's this picture that came. Look at you! You look fabulous. That was the Spirit of Manchester Awards last night. And who was next year?
Oh, don't know the fellow.
I'll tell you what you want.
And Andy Burnham, but you know, Mel B.
Yeah.
Melanie Brown.
I was going to make a joke of you with Scary Spies and Mel B.
Yeah. I know. Oh, she's lovely. She's absolutely
it's
lovely.
Been brilliant having you in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Congratulations twice.
And she hasn't even had a champagne.
I haven't. I've not had the fizz.
You know, you were talking about partying, you know, with the VT that you watched. We were partying last night.
No, I can imagine.
Were you climbing on the lamppost there?
Won't say. Ask me no questions. Tell no lies.
Well, Moss Side definitely turned red, didn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, it did.
And next to you, who's been chipping in, and quite rightly so, she thought, I won't be able to say anything.
One
And
of 5. Once I get talking, the
oh
getting us to
my
shut up.
goodness me.
brilliant.
Ladies and gentlemen, who we have on the sofa here is Daisy Hughes from Macclesfield Silk Museum. Now, my darling, you explain to everybody. I'm going to say, think Lara Croft. Think Indiana Jones. She's archaeologist.
A little less athletic.
Is it
of those two?
No,
you
it's
work in a mill.
in Wales. It wasn't Egypt, was it? It was Wales.
It was Wales. It was Iron Age Wales, which might, to some, might not be as glamorous as temples in South America. But I'm telling you, quarry holes, middens, which is essentially an ancient rubbish tip, far more exciting in North Wales than any fancy temple you've got down there.
So tell us about how you got into this. If there's a little Daisy out there, or a little Arinma, or a little Frankie or Ollie, and thinking, oh, what does she do? They might play a bit of Tomb Raider. Come on, share.
First of all, God help the world if there's another little Daisy out there, because I don't think there's room enough for one of them, not alone anymore. But okay, so I got into it, and they say they get onto it at an early age. I really started young on the archaeology train. We did Egyptology in reception, and we went to the Manchester Museum, and then that was it. Loved history, wanted everything history. And then when I was in year 5, I learned about Sutton Hoo, and I was like, oh, I can do this for a living. People will pay me to do this. Sign me up.
So you had really good teachers then, didn't you? And role models at that age.
I must admit, I didn't have very many during secondary school, and I think a lot of that might have been something to do with my dyspraxia and dyslexia. Okay. So even if you have those things, guys, if you find the right support base, you can do it. Because Bangor University, I'm a full-blown Bangor babe, or as I found out after I graduated, it was called Cupid's College. Because it was one of the first universities to allow women in, but then the women ended up marrying a lot of the professors. So I didn't get a professor.
There's a film about that, actually, I think.
I would like to see that, but I kind of feel like I am owed my money because I didn't come away with a doctor or a professor under my arm. So, I'm very...
You don't need one. You don't need one.
You're a woman in your own right.
You're flying on your own.
True, exactly. So, I went to Bangor. Bangor was stunning. And I worked under Professor Ray Carl, and he got me really even more into the Iron Age. And it just sort of there. So I was doing a few dig sites. And then I kind of fell in love with the National Trust because I did a bit of studying there. So my undergrad was history, heritage, and archaeology. I'm greedy. I don't want to choose. I'm going to have all 3.
I'm really jealous, by the way, Daisy. This is my alternate life. This is, because I like dinosaurs and the Egyptology. We've got Egypt in our family. Egypt in our family down my father's line. So
I loved fossils when I was little. I still have all my fossils that I had, all the little sharks' teeth. I still cannot go into a shop which sells little trilobites and shark teeth without coming out with a little box of them.
So let me just pull this round then, because you're looking very 1945 as well. Can I just say, lady?
I am a bit vintage.
Okay, so it's not shark's teeth, it's not a velociraptor bone, or anything like that.
No.
Tell me why you're on our V-inspired show.
So I started looking in, March, which seems to have blown through very quickly, to the social history and the wartime history of specifically Macclesfield. And from then it sort of ignited this big research into specifically what women were doing. Because, I am a bit of a feminist. I've got my little feminist card hidden away in my pocket right here. So I wanted to know what the chicks were doing. And I want to know exactly how far it went as in contribution. Because we have all these statues for blokes. And I will put my little political foot in there and say, white blokes. There was a big Commonwealth effort there.
Let me just pause you there. Statue.
I've got a statue
in Manchester Central Library.
Yeah, we saw that. I literally saw that today. It was amazing.
And now you sat next to her.
I know. Remember those me and my twin sisters? Look at this amazing statue. And I go, I'm sat next to her now. I'm not worthy. I'm just a small town girl from Macclesfield.
So what do you do right now then with museums? Tell us about your job right now.
I'm kind of a Jill of all trade, mistress of none, basically. So I got in there via the mill fronts. Basically, huge archaeological nerd. I think we've established this now. And so I got in there, so I'm doing all the looming and things like that. And then obviously my bosses find out, oh, hang on, she's worked with volunteers and data at the National Trust. We'll get her there. So I'm also now doing a lot of data and volunteer management, which isn't that fun. But the fun part is I'm doing a World War II inside walk at the moment. And I'll be doing that Jubilee weekend as well. I'm plugging that in. I told you.
Give us the dates. Give us the dates.
So we're doing it on the 4th of June, which is that the
That's
Friday. It's the Friday.
Friday.
I'm doing it on the Friday. And then I'm doing another one on the 5th of August. And you get to know all the makeup routines. If you want to know how to win over an American GI, I can totally hook you up. I can tell you how to get the fake tights. I literally made it all. I've made gravy browning from scratch. I've got the little
You've got the pencil.
Oh, yeah, I got my
leg.
pencil out. You know, I burnt cork to make a mascara because there are 2 ways you can make mascara during World War II. If you could get boot polish, that's what you did because it was the closest thing to mascara. Even the way it came in, it used to come in these little square tins with a little tiny brush and you brush it on.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm not putting boot polish on my eyelash. We're not at war. I'm not doing that for anyone. So I burnt the cork, a bit of petroleum jelly. Oh, look, I've got mascara. Same for your eyebrows. So I've done a bit of that.
That's brilliant.
Your eyeshadow. It's quite a chic, turns out quite a chic little shimmery cream number. So you get a saucer, you get a candle, you put it underneath, you wipe off the soot, mix it in, and you just put it on your eyelash, and it actually looks quite nice. I would actually think
this is fabulous.
And hairspray used to be sugar and water, didn't it? Before, back in the day, as well.
That'd not work on our hair, would it?
Don't think it'd work on mine.
I'm about to say for the blondie ginger contingency here, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work on the curls. It just doesn't work. No.
Yeah, and like beetroot as well. Like beetroot was your one-stop shop. You know, you wanted a bit of blusher, you wanted a bit of red lippage. Beetroot. Seriously.
That's fabulous.
You know, and you get that pineapple and you'd get those silk stockings off the GI and you'd be having a good time doing the monkey run.
Yeah, well, can we just leave those blokes to one side? can we just leave those blokes to one side? Listen, you know, we're all done up. We've all got our makeup sorted for VE Day, rolling into the Queen's Jubilee, because of course 7 years after VE Day was the Queen's Jubilee, so we could still do the same thing because rationing was still around.
It was till the mid-50s,
so rationing was still around, so keep those things in mind. But let's chill out and let's relax and listen to our mojo.
It's Jo Britton, your neurosculpting coach, for another minute of mojo. Look, comparison is the thief of joy. So if you're comparing yourself like lots of my clients do and start to lose your mojo, here are 3 tips to help you get out of the comparing game and stay in your own lane. Number 1, remember, the internet is not real. So many people are comparing themselves with people's highlight reels on social media. So curate your social media in a way that boosts your mojo, not drains it. Number 2, think about your strengths and talents that you have and focus on those. And often some of my clients, when I ask them the question, well, what are you really good at? How are you clever? They look at me like blank. So if you struggle to discover your own strengths and talents, then maybe ask a friend or a family member, what is it that I'm good at? And you'll get a really good surprise, I'm sure. And number 3, give your brain the evidence of all the things that you do really well. Not every day is good, but there's always something good in every day. So take a note of it. I'll be back next time for another minute of mojo. In the meantime, you can connect with me on my Instagram page, jobritton.mojo.
We're here at the Opera House to see Singing in the Rain. It's absolutely amazing. Adam Cooper came in to see us at Your Manchester to talk to us about this fantastic production. This 1952 classic was brought to the stage and they did it proud. All the iconic songs, more iconic songs than you think, actually, not just Singing in the Rain. And can I give a shout out to Andrew Wright? The choreography was superb. Sterling work, fantastic stunts, and the set was lovely, but you didn't actually look at the set. It was the actual dancing, the choreography, the way everybody worked together in sync. You were taken back to those old Hollywood days. Come and see it. It's here until Saturday the 14th of May at the Opera House, Manchester. 5 stars. That's what we're giving it. 5 stars. Oh, I had a great time last night. I went with Ollie as well, young Ollie, and we had a laugh. We were singing, and I was going, "Good morning, good morning." Oh, sorry, I shouldn't do.
The whole night through.
Oh, good morning to you and you and you and you. And in the studio we.
Oh, Marilyn Shokes, welcome to the studio. This is our queen of the theatre, really. Now, we were saying before, when I quickly chatted to you earlier, that when I go into the theatre, because I knew I wanted to act since 5, whenever I go into the theatre, particularly an older building, I'm at home straight away. It feels like home. So what makes you so into the theatre? Tell us about your background.
I haven't got a theatre background, but I love history.
Mm-hmm.
I love buildings, and I love going to the theatre. So they all combine together, and I got involved in what I do about the theatres, writing about the theatres, because I'm a volunteer in the archives at Manchester Central Library. And I've been doing it for years. So whatever they've asked me to do, I love. I can always find something interesting in it. Mm-hmm. And about pre-lockdown, the main archivist said, we've got the collection of theatre programmes and playbills from the Manchester theatres and have never been catalogued. Would you like to have a go at doing it? I said, yeah. So I started to do the programmes, and some of the programmes are so beautiful, the old ones, and really interesting.
What age were they?
From about 1750.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
some of them were done in the shape of a fan. And they're so detailed.
And would have been all handmade at the time.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And then we start to do some on the Palace Theatre. And I said to the young girl, the lady that was in charge of me at the time, oh my God, Eartha Kitt appeared here. Eartha Kitt appeared here. Johnny Ray. Ella Fitzgerald, and it was.
Ella Fitzgerald's one of my favourites.
Who these people are, and I thought, oh my God, I must be so old.
No. Honestly, Ella Fitzgerald's one of my favourites.
Eartha Kitt appeared in a review at the beginning of her career, so she wasn't the main star. She was just in the chorus line.
Was that 1948?
About that, yeah, just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Oh my God!
But I'm now doing playbills, so I'm up to playbills for the Theatre Royal. Now theirs is the most brilliant collection of playbills, and the most interesting. Can I tell you about the most interesting one?
Yeah, sure.
The most interesting playbill was for December 1819, and this playbill was they were doing 2 plays that night, and they were raising money for the Manchester and Salford Block Hospital and Asylum, and it was being done by permission of a gentleman called Colonel Lestrange. So I'm very nosy, and I thought, I've never heard of Manchester and Salford Block Asylum and Hospital. So I Googled it, and it was a hospital for mainly for prostitutes and venereal diseases.
But you see, performers back then, they were seen as prostitutes. Performers used to sort of cross, didn't they?
Well, the word prostitute just didn't mean what it does today. It meant people who had illegitimate children, people who weren't married living together, various things. And I discovered that on Deansgate there were over 30 brothels.
Wow.
At that time, yes.
Wow.
So they talked about this. It was 2 houses that somebody bought, and they were on the borders of Salford and Manchester. And then eventually, ladies slept in the beds and men slept on the floor. And
sounds
yeah. And if you got venereal disease, there was no cure, so you just went insane. So that's why they had the asylum.
Right.
And it changed its name and became Manchester and Salford Skin Hospital. So if you were a gentleman at the turn of the century of the year 1900, and you said to your wife, "Oh, I've got a little rash on my leg. I think I'll go to the skin hospital," she wouldn't know that you were going to the VD clinic.
Sneaky.
So very sneaky. And now that's part of Manchester. It was on Key Street, opposite the skin hospital. Used to be Key Street, opposite the Opera House.
Right.
And then it moved. It's now part of Manchester Royal Infirmary.
Wow.
Yeah. So the other bit, then Colonel Lestrange. He was the man that gave the charge at the Peterloo massacre in the August.
Yeah.
And he obviously hadn't been prosecuted for leading it. So he was in charge of that. The 2 plays that were on, one was a tragedy called Castle Spectre, and it was set in medieval Conway. The other was a comedy called, I think it was called The Jew and the Doctor, or The Doctor and the Jew, and it was by a guy called Thomas Dibdin, a famous playwright. So on one playbill, you've got the 2 faces of theatre, you've got the story of a Manchester hospital, and then you've got the Peterloo massacre, all on one
This is
playbill.
absolutely fascinating.
This is fabulous.
I think you're going to have to come back as well.
Yeah, definitely. And because this is a VE Day inspired show, have you got anything, a little anecdote around wartime and victory in Europe? Because I know, I'm sure one of the theatres close by were bombed, or
I can't really, being honest, I can't really say about that. The only thing I can tell you, not about the commemoration, but there is a tree in Piccadilly Garden.
Oh,
love this. I love this tree. It's a metal tree, and it's blended in. And you have to walk and have a look because you can't see this tree. It doesn't stand out. It's a metal tree with metal branches, and all around the tree are the names of the people that were killed when in the Manchester bombings in Piccadilly.
Right.
And it's lost
in the Second World War.
The Second World War.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's lost completely.
So Marilyn, let's do a bit of an appeal. Should we do an
that'd be wonderful.
Impromptu appeal, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. Because what we want is we don't want it moved because that's where they fell.
Yes.
But we want that tree and around that tree something to be made of it, so it can be a place that people can look and go and think.
But people don't even know it's there.
They don't know it's there, so they can't go and show their respect.
I didn't know until you told me.
No. So when you go to Piccadilly Gardens there, I mean, also the fact people don't go to Piccadilly Gardens because it's not as safe an area as it used to be.
And it's not as attractive as it used to be. It used to be like all lovely, didn't it? And
yeah,
flowers
well,
and
flowers and green.
Yeah, I remember that when I was a little girl. It was all flowers and green.
Yeah, it was all lovely.
It was just like a concrete bar, didn't it? You know, you just
I
walked
was
past
wondering
it.
why it was called Piccadilly Gardens, and then I saw the old photos of it. It's like, oh, that's why.
I know. And it would have been looking like that during VE Day.
Piccadilly Gardens, the other side of Piccadilly Gardens, behind, opposite Queen Victoria's statue, was the first Manchester Royal Hospital.
Really?
Oh.
I would have loved to have been an historian.
Do it.
It's never
No,
too
but
Yeah.
I left school at 16 and a half because it interfered with my social life.
It's never too
It's never too late.
Never too late.
Piccadilly Gardens, I remember when we used to go, my mum and I used to go shopping on a Saturday into Manchester. She always wanted to go into Manchester, and we always had to go to Woolworths for egg and chips.
Yeah. Oh, there's a cafe upstairs.
Yeah, they had a cafe upstairs, egg and chips, and then we come downstairs, pick a mix, and then we'll go and sit in Piccadilly Gardens and pick a mix.
Yeah.
Oh, the wonders of being an only child.
Oh my God.
But you didn't go into Lewis's arcade.
Oh, yeah, Lewis's as well.
But you didn't go into Lewis's arcade.
No, we did used to go into the food hall because my mum used to get. That's where my mum used to say you could get some spicy stuff. It was like a bit exotic. We were like, this is normal. This is normal. Like, so in Lewis's, and she'd like spend a little bit extra to get some nice stuff. Anyway, talking about lovely stuff, we've got a lovely.
Shall we find out? I think I know where you're heading with this, but shall we find out whether our Paul is heading off to sing in the rain?
Yeah, he might be.
He might be.
Now, this is Jack Judge, and he was a fishmonger from Oldbury who became a singer comedian after winning a talent competition. Now, Jack is best remembered as the writer and composer of the song. Are you ready for it? It's a long way to Tipperary, which became immensely popular during the First World War. Now, this was written in Stalybridge on the 30th of January 1912 as a result of a 5-shilling bet, and was performed at the Grand Theatre in the town. Now, that's enough about my friend Jack. Let's have a look at the weather. Here it comes. Thursday is looking cloudy with the temperatures of 18 degrees Celsius. So that's mostly dry with patchy clouds, sunny intervals at times, and the odd shower will drift in. Friday is looking sunny intervals, a little bit breezy with the temperatures of 16 degrees Celsius. And as we head into the weekend's weather right now, it's looking rather cooler. Cloudy on Saturday with the temperatures of 18 degrees Celsius, and Sunday the sun will have his hat on. Hip 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 hooray! Sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 20 degrees Celsius. Now, I have to say a very big happy birthday to my number one nephew, Louis Arthur Rudd. Happy birthday, Louis. Love you lots. And now, I'm going to sing us out with a bit of a song. But you know what, Carol and Hayley? I don't know whether to suck or blow. Oh, story of my life there. Are you ready, everyone? It's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long way to go. Only on your Manchester.
I'm adopting him.
Oh my God.
I love him so much.
God.
And he's so dapper and he's so smart. Come on, you give a message.
Oh yeah, I've got a message to our, apparently this young lad is our number one fan. So happy birthday, Louis Rudd. Have a really good day.
Save me some cake, Louis.
Yeah. Give her a piece of cake because you won't be happy.
Yeah. Talking about cake, we've got get him up.
Oh yeah, I've got
him
mug. Cheers, love.
So I'm not saying that there's going to be afternoon teas, but so we're talking about 1945, and then 7 years later, the Queen. Princess Elizabeth became Queen, and she's 70 years on the throne. Amazing. We want to do a special show on June the 1st.
Wow!
Just before the actual Jubilee weekend. What have you got planned? What do you know that's going on, Daisy?
Well, I've already got my VE nails, my Jubilee nails in. So I'm doing
close upon her nails.
A VE as well. You know, I'm representing for my my tour. I don't know if you can see that VE, and I got my little Jubilee colours. So that's my own little personal way. But the museum itself, so we're doing the World War II tour, and I have been looking at recipes on a ration. So, because obviously they released the ration a little bit so you could celebrate. So I'll be making eggless steamed cake, which I'm very scared about. You make it in an empty baked bean tin can. So it may or may not be edible, people. But if you want to see how it comes out, that'll be there. We're also making mock crab. You know, I'll be showing you all the makeup you could have worn if you couldn't still have accessed that.
Okay.
We're going to have some Jubilee and sort of celebration items that are in our collections at the museum out as well. And there'll be some retro games, some vintage games out that you would have been able to play at that time in our exhibition space upstairs.
There's got to be Spam's fritters somewhere.
Oh no! I must admit, I'm quite happy that being vegetarian, I'm quite happy that a lot of the ration recipes were mock recipes. You're supposed to know that mock crab and mock goose have been nowhere near an animal. Like even the egg element is reconstituted powdered egg, so I don't think an animal's been anywhere near it.
Do you use the carrot instead of sugar for the cakes?
And potato. If I was to make scones from the time period, I would have to use potato scones.
Well, I'm gluten free, so I often have potato flour or rice flour rather than the usual flour. So I probably would fare all right, wouldn't I?
That's it.
This is an education.
That's it. We'll have to crack out some WI jam and we'll have to try potato scones for Jubilee weekend.
Brilliant. I think you should be bringing us some in.
That's it. Yeah. If you invite me back, I will bring it, but you might ask me then just to take it away again.
We might just invite you back, literally, and just do a show on your scones.
I will bring makeup. We'll have a beauty regime.
Are you
anything else?
to take the black line on your leg?
Oh, yeah. I made the browning. I've got the eyeliner pencil.
Yeah. Oh, she's told us all about that. Wow. So, Marilyn, what's going on?
I'm going to go to the Royal Horticultural place at Bridgewater.
Ooh.
They've got a flat. They're doing a special thing in the gardens with the flowers. Also, they're doing a 1940s event in Bury on the train, the Bury to Ramsbottom train. And it's everybody's going to be dressed up in 1940s.
Bury to Ramsbottom.
Yes.
I'm going to have to find out.
I've heard about this in the past and I fancied it. Should we go?
It's a steam train. And we took up one of our grandchildren when he was little, and he couldn't get over the name Ramsbottom. And he spent the whole journey laughing about saying
my type of child.
And the other place we're debating whether to go to is Glossop, where I grew up. And we had a business in Glossop, and they are having a Victorian weekend to celebrate it, and a heritage weekend. But I really do fancy the train.
Get yourself a little
that'd be great. That'd be great. If only we could. This is so clunky, Hayley.
Go on,
brace yourself.
Go on, brace.
If only we could go back in time, just briefly to experience it. Why did I say that?
I have no idea.
Shooty.
We'll meet again. Don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies chase the dark clouds far away. Oh, won't you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that when you saw me go, we were singing this song.
Favourite songs, by the way.
Well, yes, that was lovely. Can we just say thank you to Councillor Professor Arinma Bell, MBE, DL, JP.
Are you really saying all that again?
I'm saying all of that. No, I made a point. She's worked hard for all of those. I've made a point.
This woman can't do.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and thank you so much to Marilyn Schultz. Thank you. Our Queen of Theatres and History. And thank you so much to our Lara Croft, Daisy Hughes. They're all going to come back again because we're just like a little family. It's like a little... And my co-host, I call her Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
But she goes by by Hayley Cartwright.
She does.
And you're in the Radio Times, darling.
Apparently so, yes. For next week, I'm in the Radio Times. My name is listed, yes.
Okay, and that's for?
And that is for Coronation Street, because I shall be gracing your screens again.
Fantastic, that's great. But until we meet again.
I don't know when.
She's really good, she's really good. It's going to be your Manchester!